What's up, everybody? Tonight's video is just a chill, sitting on the couch type of vibe. I just wanted to do a life update for you all. I feel like I was in a super good place for an extended period of time, but recently I've just had this particular energy in my life that will not quit, will not stop. And that is my father, my relationship with my dad, and that it's not great, and that there's a lot of things wrong with it. Today's video, I just wanted to talk about my life update, as in how my dad is affecting me right now. My whole life, I feel like I haven't had a father figure or strong male figure in my life. I have always wanted like a solid relationship. And because I didn't have that within myself, because of my family upbringing and my dad's absence and my dad making not so great choices out here in many different areas of his life, and then it obviously spills into our life as his family and as his children. So I've sought stability externally because my body and soul and emotional body, that's the main thing here, emotional body, wanted love, safety, comfort, feeling of protection. Anything could happen and I would be okay because I would have my dad, right? Like, you think that they would be able to protect you like that. But because of his personality, the way he is, he's very detached. He does not like intimacy with his kids, as in like, he doesn't want to play an active role in our lives every single day. And never really wanted to, or maybe he did. See, this is the part where I'm not him, so I can't speak for him or talk on this, but I would assume he thought he wanted to be a parent, he thought he wanted to be a dad, he thought he wanted to raise kids, but once he got into it, it wasn't what he signed up for, and it is not what made him excited and like passionate and like wanting to be involved and teach and nurture and care and show support in the same way that my mom did. So again, can't talk on this because I'm not a mom, but just from what I've observed, y'all, I'm high. So I'm like struggling right now to talk. I'm high. The fact that I'm high is a part of my life update. I have been smoking for the past week, and it's something that I feel like I've slipped back into. And for the longest time, I would say I was addicted to weed, but I wouldn't consider that. Like, I don't know, like I just preferred living high. I just wanted to feel good, and I wanted to feel, an hour or two of my day where I can just be in my own world, and it's happy and it's blissful, and it is something that I can control, and it's something that I'm taking the time out of my day to do for myself. Because of what's been happening with my dad, I feel like I'm unintentionally, I guess, seeking to go back and find a way of relief that nothing else is like giving me. Because I do art, I still think about this. It's like looming in the back of my head about wanting to cut him out of my life and let him know that, me standing up to every single thing that he's said or done that has hurt me, made me feel uncomfortable, not good. And I'm saying this kind of stuff about recent events, like how he's been handling this like situation with my mom, and her and I are best friends that talk every single day. So it's like, she's not gonna hide these things from me, because I think it's important as a mother or as a parent to let your kids know somewhat what's going on. Because if the other person's character is just really trash and like scumbag and low blow, like I'm not trying to be dramatic. I feel so dramatic whenever I like say these things, like what an asshole, like what a dick, right? We don't like this man. But honestly, at this point, part of the fucking process is accepting the fact that my father is not great. And he is disappointing. I'm embarrassed to be his daughter. Truly embarrassed to be his daughter. And I would not proudly want to show him off to anybody, because I wouldn't even trust him in a room with someone I actually loved and cared for, because his energy is just so much and so toxic and so just, it's not a good father. I'm just going to let you know. And I feel like some people maybe weren't meant to be parents, but life happens, things happen, people also change their minds. And the thing about him is he's been stuck in this like cyclical mentality for his whole life, it feels like I found this diagram today, and I'll insert it on the screen here, and we can look at this for the next couple of minutes. It's like 4 different circles, and there's a different stage of life that you are on. You are either in the comfort zone, I think the other one was fear zone, learning zone, I believe, and then the growth zone. So you obviously are going to start off in the smaller circle area where it's fear zone and comfort zone, because that is what you've been conditioned to feel and be. So your life experiences, things that have happened to you, the way that your relationships have gone, the way that you interact with your parents and how that was, or who was important to you in your life or who wasn't so much there, those things are important in that category. Because as much as you want to be like, yeah, like I created myself, you didn't. But that's why the whole like awakening and self-discovery and growth side exists, because you make the decision to change. You make the decision to break out of the fear zone and your comfort zone, and you're going to achieve more. You're going to strive for more. You're going to have more goals. You're going to be more focused on the drive itself and the passion and the fire and excitement that you have for your life, and you're wanting more, you're seeking more because you want fulfillment. The whole quote, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and getting the same result, but you're like expecting something differently, whatever, that phrase. That is exactly what it is. You are insane in the head to stay the same forever. There's gonna be a certain like plateau, I guess you could say, that some people hit, and they just, that's the way they see things, that's their beliefs, that's their perspective, that's how they want to view things, that's how they want to react to things. So my dad, everything he does is like reactionary to this one set path that he's been on, and his mentality and everything like that. Unfortunately, he doesn't see me as like his amazing grown-up awesome daughter who has really like defined herself and found herself, and she's seeking amazing things and she's passionate. Like, he doesn't know me worth shit, and he doesn't want to, or he might, but he doesn't know how to like work with me or approach me. But just like texting your daughter at 11:50 p.m. is not an appropriate time for an adult 50-plus-year-old man to be contacting his daughter. I have heard the argument, well, you're lucky that you even have a parent who's trying, you know, but like, that's not my experience with it. I would rather him not bother me than to do this whole in and out shit that he just like keeps doing. He'll pop in for a second, say, hey, what's up? How's school? That's all he'll say. How's school? Like, the only thing that he knows to ask or ever wants to ask is how is school, or how's online classes going. He doesn't ever ask like, how's Kentucky, or how is life, or how are you? It's never about that. So it's like he doesn't know how to get intimate in a sense, like the intimacy of connecting with your daughter and understanding her and seeing how she's growing as a woman and being proud of her for that. He asked me the other day to make him some artwork for his office, but after all of this shady shit that he's done with this other woman that he's been sleeping with for the past like 8 years, like, or 10. Honestly, it's probably 10 plus years, because this is a person from his past. I don't need to get into like the whole drama part of it. I might make like a daddy issues drama video like at some point, just to share all the crazy stories, but I'm trying to like take those bits of it and transform it into something better, because like you just saw live on this footage, me getting wrapped up in the drama and the details and the just shit, like, because that's the level that like he makes me stoop down to, because I sit there and I analyze the stupidity and the recklessness and the lack of compassion and lack of care or respect for others' feelings or anything. Like, I don't respect him, right? I don't respect him. So if all he does is like dishonorable things, like, you don't need to be in my life. It's just like a big drama show. Everything just like check the box. It just confirms like a stereotypical psychiatric evaluation of a person who is unhealed and continually living out the same patterns because they're unhealed. Like, he won't face himself. He won't accept the things he's done. He won't apologize. I know that's a huge one, and even to this day, it's hard to apologize to people. Unless you're truly ready, healed, no, it's not going to happen again type of vibes. It's bringing my energy down because like I have to play into his game. So I'm not completely cut off financially because I'm not in a position right now to be financially free from my family. And I'm aware of that. It's a privilege and a true blessing that I've had for the greater bit of my life to have parents who support me fully. And I do not have a job, I do not have an income, and I'm sure a lot of people have got something to say about that, and outside looking in, I would too. But at the same time, my compassionate heart and my newer healed heart that I have finally learned to embrace and accept fully would say everyone is different, everyone has different emotional needs and energetic needs, and sometimes being around a certain environment just for the sake of getting money because I need money to live and support myself, all of those things, I haven't had to face that reality of like, shit, you were actually broke if you were cut off today. And I'm at the point where I'm like needing to face that, and it is terrifying because it's something that I haven't had to deal with. This whole me getting cut off thing, it's stressing me out, it's tripping me up, because I am at the choice point of, do I want to set boundaries for myself, stand up to my dad, tell him how I feel, tell him how he makes me uncomfortable, tell him in all the ways that he hurt me or I feel failed me in many ways. And it's like I'm having to tiptoe and not say anything because I need the financial support. And that's why I'm about to make some changes in my fucking life, because I can't live like that. It's like I'm living under his control and his reign in a sense, and he doesn't even deserve the thought in his head that he has that power over me. So now it's like really getting to me, and not in a good way. Like every time I talk to my mom about the things that he does, it's like, somebody come get your man. God help us. God help this man. And it's like his emotional maturity is juvenile, so I have to be careful, and like all the things I want to say are going to be too real for him, and it's going to spook him and get him on his defensive ass guard, probably the most intense one he's had to put up. Like, he's not ever going to be able to hear the things that he does, the impact that he has, and accept that as truth, because he will just cover it up by being with his girl, spending money on her, going on luxurious vacations, and spending a copious amount of money on food, drinks, material possessions, jewelry, Lululemon, designers, new boobs. Like, he prefers to feel like a provider in that sense. And the way that he gets his like power, like leech type thing, is by skimping his family of money, like giving 90% of his financial income to his girlfriend and about 10% to his family, and pretending like we're broke, but really he's broke and in credit card debt with another woman, and still has to provide for his family, but his family is not his priority. So why would you give your money and resources to someone who is not your priority? So he gets that leech like, I don't know what the reaction is in people like this, and I've dated a person like this. It is literally the most disgusting, vile thing, because these people will never ever change. They will be old on their deathbed, dying, not being a different person than they were 30 years ago. Like, they're the same person. They run around so hurt and stuff that they need to control other people and make sure that goes exactly as they need, so that they can feel like they're in control. So there's just a lot of different stuff to unpack that I'm not even going to get into, because that's like, I feel like too much for right now. whenever you're the one being hurt by these kinds of people, just anything that you hear about them, what they're doing, who they're doing, what they're doing with their money, like, it's just fuel for your story in your head of how terrible they are. And it's not a story, it's like nonfiction fucking autobiography vibe, like, this is this person. And like, I can clearly see these patterns happening from the outside, but they are really good at fooling the world into believing that they have it figured out. But they're living stuck in fear secretly. So back to the diagram, he's living in fear, he's living in his comfort zone. And I think the first thing in the comfort zone one is like fear of change or fear of like losing control or something like that. So it's a very in control thing to control people, his family's financial resources, and how he treats us. It's all in his control. So if I speak up about how I feel about him and what, like, just basically my truth that I've been wanting to speak for years but feel like I couldn't, I need to make sure I'm financially free of this man before I say a word. And he also doesn't know that I legally changed my last name. I have a feeling that after that, it's close to disowning level, because he doesn't understand like why I did it, and because he doesn't know that he does anything wrong, or he does but he's not willing to face it. So if I'm calling him out on his shit, he's not gonna be ready to hear that. So he's just gonna deflect and get defensive. I will continue to heal over the years, especially with this certain thing, because clearly this is still a sore, a raw sore that needs to be, taken care of. I'm just telling myself that this is not forever and that I can fix this situation by cutting it out of my life. I never push things off in my life. I actively pursue every single ounce of urge that I feel to do anything in my life. It's like my intuition is like my driving force. It's my air I breathe. Like, I decide what I'm gonna do each day based on my intuition. So my intuition has been freaking pulling at my arm, knocking on my door, doing crazy shit to get my attention, and it's telling me, cut your dad off. Stand up to him, give him a chance to say whatever he has to say back, and then peace. But I'm not listening. And that's the first time in my life that I've not wanted to listen, because there's too much that I'm gonna have to deal with whenever this tsunami wave comes crashing down. So I'm just trying to figure out, what can we do before we fire this metaphorical bullet? Because I don't subject myself to situations like this. I just cut them off before it even gets like this weird power struggle, like strange stuff going on. Like, I would just cut it off by now, but because it's my father and there's that financial stipulation there's a lot more to think about. And I'm not so sure I'm ready to do that yet, but I'm trying, I'm preparing, and I'm just still trying to go with the flow. But in the meantime, this will consume my life and I don't want it to. And maybe it is a mentality to focus on it, but like I said, the financial thing is the number one thing that's a dangling carrot over my head, but a not good carrot. That is it. I hope it didn't bring you down too much. I just wanted to be real and let you know what is going on with my terrible father. So yeah, I love you all. Thank you so much for supporting me. If you would like to see more content other than on this channel, I have an ASMR channel, and that is linked on this channel at the top tabs. If you click on channels, you'll find me. So that is it, and I will talk to you all in my next video.